The last match that I televised with you guys, Saturday morning, he hit balls for like 10 hours straight.
Right.
He got up Sunday morning and played 18 holes before the match. And when I got to the course, he was in the parking lot running wind sprints. And I said, man, Tom Brady inspired me to want to work harder on my golf game. This dude, 8 hours Saturday, 18 holes Sunday, and then he was doing wind sprints in the parking lot because his training camp started the next week.
Put it this way, at the end of the season, or right towards the end, Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be right in the thick of it, just like they were in the last couple of years. Tom's seen it. He's done it. In fact, a break from time to time is probably a good thing.
As excited as we are about the game, aren't you a little sad too, Robin? Because this could be the last time we see Brady versus Manning. This is the 17th time they've gone head-to-head, and it's clear who's gotten the better of the matchup. If you look at the stat sheet, it's Brady. You look at the bank account, it's Manning. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are heading into the AFC Championship game this weekend, sounding more like friends than fierce rivals.
Peyton's been, one of the best ever played.
All I can say about, Tom Brady is that he plays the position the way it's supposed to be played.
The superstar quarterbacks are once again in each other's way. If Manning and his Broncos beat the Patriots, Manning will have his shot at a second Super Bowl ring. Brady already has 4. Over the course of their careers, Brady and Manning have faced off 16 times, with Brady winning 11 of those matchups. But in the postseason, they're tied 2-2. But Manning has had the highest earning career of any player in NFL history, raking in a total of $245 million from the league during his 18 years. That's around $58 million more than Brady.
I think Tom had an interest in this place right from the get-go for a lot of reasons, and it was, I really felt from the beginning that the thing was going to happen. And, of course, it was exciting for me just to get a chance to coach him and learn from him. Those two guys, I think, have a unique relationship. I remember one year we always would have a project for Peyton. And here you go. Here's a little known fact. So the first time I met him, I brought out a file and I started reading all the stuff about his offense. He goes, where'd you get that? I go, So Peyton, we would have a project. So one year, Peyton's project was, hey, bring Brady down to Chattanooga, sit on a lake, work out, throw, exchange ideas. He's the one guy who really, at this point in his career, can understand what you go through. It was post 30, and they had a little one-on-one down there where they'd throw all morning, lift weights, run, go hit the golf ball, come sit and just talk about everything from how do I handle the media to how do I handle bear defense. And I had all these pages of notes. I started reading them off and talk about it, the Chattanooga. Yeah, of course I knew about, but how they kept the thing secret. No one ever heard about it. It was unbelievable, but and those two guys went hard for 48 hours and just exchanged ideas. But that's the level of respect, and that's how those guys approach things. And Tom said, I got to pull out those notes. I got so many things from Peyton, too, but it was everything from how do I train now that maybe I'm not in my 20s anymore to how do we work one-on-ones, how do we set up drills, how do we handle double A-gap walk-ups, and all those things. It was an unbelievable thing that it was so secret that I had all those notes, and you're dying because you want to share it because it's so interesting. And that it happened, and you can't say anything to anybody. So, so I pulled those out. That was the first thing I said. I know a little bit more than you think, than you think I know about you. And I had these 12 pages of notes on everything he believed about everything, and how they did things, and so. But those, just the story to just show how those two guys think and how they're wired is rare. And
I think it's Brady, and you just trust the guy.
Came out on that NFL All 100 team, the 100-year team or whatever, the all-time team, that Tom Brady, whenever he was named to the team, he came in, he spoke obviously with Rich Eisen and Belichick, who won an Emmy for that. Belichick won an Emmy, by the way. But he said that there was a formation or something that the Colts always used to run. Yeah. And it actually created Gronk's career, basically. I guess a guard would pull, so everybody thought it was a run. Instead, he would stay in the backfield, though, and then the tight end would just leak right up the seam. And basically, it's Gronk's entire career was prefaced off of this thing that he learned from Peyton at this entire. And then they showed a highlight of Gronk scoring a touchdown against us with that exact highlight. I was like,
he said that. I didn't really realize it. I did see it, but it was 6'10" Jose. Dice Rate 610 Jose, and that happened at that same place, sitting on the side of the lake and probably having a fluid or two and just talking and exchanging some of their ideas. And but he said the same thing. He said it was the best play they had for Gronk. And you saw Dallas Clark catch a trillion of them, right? Ripping up the middle of 2 deep and, seams on 3 deep and off a good play action fake with a guard pulling. And very few quarterbacks can do it because you're exposed. You're releasing 4 guys off of a turn your back play action fake. And, you've got to be pretty special to be able to turn your back, flip around, hit someone up the seam and understand where all the defensive players are. But, obviously those 2 guys being the best in the business, were able to do that. But at 6'10", Dice Rate 6'10" Jose, so that, they got a lot of mileage out of the thing, as did we.
Tom is not only the quarterback, but he's probably the best coach offensively that they have, just based on his experiences and seeing things the way he sees them. And he can relate that to his offensive line, whether it be a new guy or an established guy. Like, hey, I'm going to step up. So just whatever you do, push this guy outside. Don't let him get inside on you. He can go outside all he wants. As long as I can step up into the pocket, that's all I'm asking. That's valuable information right there for an offensive lineman.
So when Jason Light talked on Get Up about they think Tom Brady's arm is at a perfect arm for this Bruce Arians offense. And then there's stats that back that up. For passes 20 yards down the field or more in a tight window, he and Jameis had the highest QBR in the entire league, tied for the highest QBR in the league. I think the narrative is that Tom Brady can't sling it anymore because he's older. What have you seen on film, and is that all a bunch of BS?
Yeah, so it was fun to do, free agency this year. The first guy I wrote, it was in alphabetical order, so I'm writing up Tom Brady in free agency like you do every year, and answering the questions. Do you think he can be a starter in the NFL? Can he start for us? Is he a leader? And I really thought it was candid. I thought it was a setup. I really thought it was set up. Is he a leader? Do you think he's a leader? But we did him like everyone else. And so I watched every throw of his for 4 years and couldn't see any drop off whatsoever. Anyone who says that he can't, just is talking. They haven't watched the film that he makes every throw. Now, some years they had fast guys, Moss, and they threw that ball up the field. Some years they didn't. This year they didn't, and they threw more checkdowns and stuff. But every time he got his opportunity, that ball went up top and usually extremely successfully. And I think that narrative is dead off base. And if I thought that, we probably wouldn't have gone after him. That he is playing at an extremely high level. He took his physical. They said his joints are like that of a 30-year-old man.
Avocado ice cream.
He takes care of himself, unlike myself, and you look like you maybe put on a few pounds since I saw you last.
I ate 4,000 calories at McDonald's yesterday for a challenge. I'm in a bad spot right now, Coach. But I
am too. I'm with you. That's why I'm glad I'm just the headshot here. But he takes such great care of himself. But there is nothing on the film that shows that he's falling off accuracy-wise, arm strength-wise. No one wants. Everyone says, "Well, he doesn't want to get hit." Well, I don't know the quarterback who really wants to get hit. He does. He has an elite clock like Peyton. He can assess how long he has to throw that thing to the hundredths of a second, like nobody else. Like Peyton just knew how long he could hold it as long as he could, and then he just let it go. And it might have to be a throwaway. It may be a great throw, but they just have such an elite clock. He has the same clock for, hey, I know that if we don't block the defensive end, I could hold that ball for 1.95 seconds before I have to throw it. And then if no one's open at that point, they do a great job throwing it away. They're hard to sack, and I think that's going to be a great asset for us. That's he's elite that way. But your original question, I saw no drop off on arm strength, no inability to make any throw that needed to be made.
You're still.
And I felt the same about Rivers. I thought the same about Rivers, that I expected to see a drop off, and there wasn't. There really wasn't. Those guys are still playing at a high level.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day.